Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack a stack of information and extract the most compelling insights just for you. Today, we're plunging into a topic that underpins almost every global interaction: currency.
That's right. And when we talk about currency, we're not just discussing the physical money a country uses, like dollars, euros, or yen.
Right.
It's really the entire system of value exchange. It's the backbone of economies worldwide.
And let's be honest, currency is something you encounter constantly, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Whether you're planning an international trip, maybe navigating online commerce, or just following global news, understanding its dynamics is, well, it's crucial. Our mission today is to move beyond the basics. We want to give you a more nuanced understanding of money, from its practical daily use right through to its role in global financial markets. So you can walk away feeling truly well-informed. The everyday world of currency, your travel and shopping toolkit.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources emphasize that currency becomes immediately tangible when you travel or shop across borders. Yeah, that's where it hits home for most people first.
But beyond simply knowing you need foreign currency, what are the sort of underlying considerations for your next international adventure?
Well, the fundamental concept, I think, is understanding how your home currency translates into another.
Okay.
And this brings us directly to the exchange rate.
Right, the exchange.
Yeah, and it's not just a number you see on a screen. It's really a dynamic reflection of, well, all sorts of things: economic health, interest rate differences, even geopolitical stability between two nations.
Huh. So a small shift can actually matter quite a bit.
Oh, massively. A seemingly small change in the exchange rate can have huge ripple effects on the cost of your vacation, or even the price of imported goods back home.
Absolutely. We've all seen those signs at the airport, you know? You land in a new country and suddenly your $100, it buys you a completely different amount of local stuff than it would at home.
Exactly.
The savvy traveler, I suppose, isn't just looking at the number,
No,
but understanding why that number moves around.
that's the key. And, while digital payments are becoming more and more common,
Yeah, tap and go everywhere now.
almost, but there's still the practical reality of small change.
Ah, coins and little bills.
Exactly. Lower denomination bills, coins, and it remains surprisingly vital in many parts of the world.
Really? Even now?
Oh, yeah. Think about needing the exact fare for a bus, or tipping someone, or using a vending machine. It's those little microtransactions where physical currency, especially small change, still often reigns.
Right. It's those little practical things that can trip you up if you're not prepared.
Definitely.
Our sources actually highlight a common travel scenario. Let's imagine you're Mia, you're fresh off the plane, need to get to your hotel.
Okay.
You might ask someone, excuse me, where can I exchange some foreign currency?
Standard question.
Then James, maybe a local, might say, well, make sure you check the exchange rate first. Those airport kiosks often have high fees.
Good advice.
And Mia, thinking ahead now, might then ask, right, say, do you happen to have any small change for the bus?
See, it's a very natural exchange. It captures the essence of these terms just in action.
Yeah.
And that example also brings up a really critical tip for travelers.
What's that?
While they're convenient, those airport currency exchange offices, they often offer less favorable exchange rates.
Ah, so you pay for the convenience?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Compared to local banks or maybe dedicated currency exchange services you might find in the city center.
So the smart move is...
Often, yeah, exchange just a small amount to the airport for immediate needs, taxi, coffee, whatever.
Okay.
Then seek out better rates later once you're settled.
Currency as a global commodity and the Forex market.
Okay, so moving beyond just travel needs, what does this all mean for the bigger picture? Our sources reveal that currencies themselves, they're actually massive global commodities.
That's right. They're constantly being bought and sold in what's known as the foreign exchange market, or Forex for short.
Forex.
Yeah. And this market is truly immense. We're talking trillions of dollars worth of different currencies being traded every single day. Euros, dollars, pounds, yen, rupees, you name it.
Trillions a day. Wow.
It's huge. And what's also fascinating is its 24-hour nature.
How does that work?
Well, because it operates across different time zones, London, New York, Tokyo, Sydney trading just happens continuously. Around the clock, worldwide, prices are always in motion.
So when people talk about trading currencies in this Forex context, what are they actually doing? It's not like they're swapping suitcases of cash, right?
Ha, no, not usually. Trading here really means buying one currency while simultaneously selling another.
Okay, why?
Well, it's mostly about speculating on the relative value. For
Mhm.
instance, you might buy euros with your dollars if you believe the euro is going to get stronger against the dollar.
So you're betting on the direction of the exchange rate.
Precisely. It's an exchange of value based on anticipating future price movements. You're not making anything physical, just trading on value changes.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, especially for people who might want to get involved but don't have, millions sitting around. The concept of a margin deposit.
Yes, margin.
How does this let smaller players into such a gigantic market?
Right. So a margin deposit is essentially a small percentage of the total trade value that you put up as collateral, almost like a good faith deposit.
So it's leverage.
Exactly. It's a way to leverage your investment. For example, a margin deposit of just, say, $100 might allow you to control a trade worth $10,000 or even more, depending on the leverage offered.
Wow.
And this is a huge, but while this amplification makes the market accessible,
Yeah.
it also dramatically magnifies both potential gains and potential losses. Risk management becomes absolutely paramount.
Makes sense. So if traders are betting on which way a currency moves, they're hoping its value either goes up or down in their favor.
Correct.
Which brings us to two core terms, appreciate and depreciate.
Yes. So when a currency, or really any asset, appreciates, its value increases relative to another currency or asset.
It gets more expensive.
Right. Our sources mention an example of a trader buying Chinese renminbi when the price was low,
Okay.
at the asking price, and then selling it when it appreciated drastically.
Like buying a stock low and selling high.
Similar principle. Think of it like real estate, too. A house bought decades ago might have significantly appreciated in value.
Got it. And the opposite.
The opposite is to depreciate. That just means its value has gone down.
Okay, appreciate is up, depreciate is down. Simple enough.
Fundamentally, yes.
But how are these buy and sell prices actually set in a market that's moving so incredibly fast? We hear terms like bid and asking price.
Right. So the asking price, sometimes called the offer price, is the price a seller is willing to accept for a currency. It's what they're asking for it.
Right, the seller's price.
And a bid is an offer made by a buyer to pay a specific amount for that currency.
The buyer's price.
Exactly. In the Forex market, for any currency pair, there's always a bid price, what buyers are willing to pay, and an asking price, what sellers are willing to accept.
And they're not the same.
Almost never. The difference between the two is called the spread.
The spread.
Yeah, and that spread essentially represents the cost of the transaction for the trader or the profit for the broker facilitating the trade. This constant interplay of bids and asks driven by supply and demand is what dictates the exchange rate at any given moment.
So in this 24-hour market, billions shifting constantly. Quick thinking seems absolutely essential.
Oh, incredibly so.
Which leads us to the idea of a split-second decision.
Yeah, that phrase pops up. A split-second decision just means a choice made almost instantaneously.
Like a reflex.
Pretty much. In high-frequency trading especially, a trader might make a split-second decision to sell a currency the moment its value jumps, or maybe buy if it suddenly dips unexpectedly.
Trying to catch those tiny movements.
Exactly. To capitalize on those immediate fluctuations, it's crucial for navigating such a volatile environment, the broader impact.
Yeah.
When currency values reshape a nation.
Now, what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how fundamentally currency can impact an entire country and its people.
Yeah. Beyond just travel or trading.
Right, for daily survival, even national identity.
Well, our sources share a really compelling and frankly stark real-world story from Ecuador back in the late 1990s.
Oh yeah? What happened there?
The country faced a severe crisis of hyperinflation. Their own national currency, which was called the sucre.
The sucre, okay.
It was just losing value at an alarming rate. I mean, imagine, a few months before, maybe 10 sucres was worth $1.
Okay.
Then very quickly became 50 sucres for $1, then 100, then 500. And eventually it reached a staggering 25,000 sucres for just $1.
25,000.
Yeah. People were literally carrying bags, like plastic bags full of money that was practically worthless just to buy basic necessities.
It's hard to even imagine your life savings just evaporating.
Overnight, basically.
It was devastating.
So what did the government do? Could they do anything? Well, the central bank found itself pretty much unable to control this rampant currency depreciation or even regulate prices effectively.
They lost control.
Completely. So the government faced an incredibly stark choice. Option one, try to implement a fixed exchange rate for the sucre, maybe peg it to the dollar like Argentina did for a while.
Okay, try to force stability.
Or option two, completely abandon their own national currency altogether and adopt a more stable foreign currency.
Wow, just give up their own money.
That's what they chose. They ultimately decided to officially dollarize the entire economy.
So if I go to Ecuador today, I just use US dollars, like here.
Exactly. If you're coming from the US, there's no need to exchange currency at all.
Huh. What effect did that have?
Well, profound effects. On the one hand, it did stabilize prices almost immediately. It made international trade much simpler for them because they were now transacting in the world's main reserve currency.
And probably boosted confidence for investors.
It did, yeah. But on the other hand, it also meant completely giving up their monetary policy independence. Meaning, they can no longer print their own money or adjust interest rates to stimulate their own economy if there's a downturn. They're tied to the U.S. Federal Reserve's decisions, essentially.
So, big benefits, but also big constraints.
Absolutely. And this historical example, it just visibly highlights that currency isn't just, a convenient medium of exchange. Its stability, its value, it can fundamentally shape the entire economic and even the social reality of a nation.
Which raises an important question, I think, for you, the listener.
Yeah.
How do we really get a handle on the relative value of currencies across different countries?
Right.
Beyond just looking up the official exchange rate online.
That's a great question because the official rate doesn't always tell the whole story of what life costs.
Right.
One of the most tangible ways and relatable ways I find is through something called purchasing power parity.
Purchasing power parity. Sounds complex.
It can be, but it's often simplified by just comparing the prices of universal everyday items, things everyone needs or recognizes.
Like what?
Think about the cost of, say, a liter of milk, or a simple haircut, or maybe even a McDonald's Big Mac. That's the famous Big Mac index.
Ah, right. I've heard of that.
Yeah. Comparing the price of the same item in different countries in their local currencies converted to dollars gives you a much more direct, sort of ground-level sense of how expensive or inexpensive a country truly feels.
So it tells you about the real purchasing power of the currency for the people living there.
Exactly. It's a way to cut through the abstract numbers of exchange rates and get a feel for the real economic experience on the ground. Outro.
Wow. What a journey through the really multifaceted world of currency.
It really touches everything, doesn't it?
It does. We've gone from practical terms you need for your next trip
The exchange rates, the
Yeah.
small change.
into the high-stakes, 24-hour world of Forex trading, the bids, the asks, the appreciation.
With second decisions.
Yeah. And then exploring how a currency's value, or lack thereof, can dramatically reshape an entire nation's economy, like we saw with Ecuador. Hopefully, you now have a kind of comprehensive shortcut to being well-informed on this really crucial topic.
Indeed. And understanding these concepts, it helps you not just with, personal finance and travel planning,
Right.
but also with grasping the deeper forces that are always at play in global economic events you read about in the news. Knowledge is always most valuable when it's understood in context, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you can apply it to the world around you. So for your final provocative thought today, consider those split-second decisions we talked about.
Okay.
But think about them being made not just by traders, but by governments and central banks around the world every single day regarding their national currencies. These huge decisions about bids and asking prices on a global scale, often involving massive leverage. How might these seemingly abstract financial maneuvers ripple through the lives of millions, subtly shifting what's considered the norm for people worldwide?
Yeah.
From their cost of living right down to their job prospects.
That's a deep one to ponder. It connects the global markets right back to everyday life. And we really encourage you to continue your own deep dive after this. Maybe research the history of your own country's currency.
Oh, interesting idea.
Or just look up the latest exchange rates for currencies you're curious about and maybe try to figure out, okay, why is it moving that way today? What factors are driving its current value?
Yeah.
The more you explore, the more natural and, frankly, impactful these concepts become.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring.